Hello and welcome to College Composition 2. This is Steve speaking to you. Many of you I know. Many of you I am meeting for the first time this way. I really am not a fan of putting myself on camera at all, but since I haven't met with many of you yet, I think it's important to be able to put a face to a name. I'm here in my office at Stark State College. I apologize for the redness of my eyes. I ran 8 miles in the bitter cold this morning, and my face is definitely feeling it. So let's just get me out of your life for now. Maybe I'll come back one more time. I'd like to talk a little bit about your first week's assignments so that you have a sense of how things get done in this particular class. Now, many of you hopefully are familiar with how I do things, but for those of you that are new to me in particular, I'm not someone who's going to use Angel a great deal. I'm much bigger on Google Drive. So as a result, most of your work is going to be assigned through Google Drive, and essentially all of your work is going to be completed through Google Drive, although you will have some options to do some cool other technologically interesting stuff. So this email, at least how it looks today, I'm making this video a few days before the official start of our class time, is basically, this is what it's going to look like, more or less. I just kicked my desk. I gotta get in the swing of things in terms of these screencasts. Most instructors of College Composition 2, and I'm one of them, develop a theme to base their class around. And like I say, I'm no different. The theme that we're going to be exploring is digital technology, specifically, mobile devices. That's going to be a big emphasis sort of early on, I guess, although we'll branch out and broaden our conception of what exactly constitutes technology as we go along further this semester. So I have a few things that I want you to do as you make your way through this first week's assignment. Now I'm bumping a picture of my daughter. Let's see. So one of the first things I want you to do, and the sooner you do all this stuff, it says by 10 a.m. Tuesday. That's the 20th. That's fine, but the sooner you get started on all these assignments, the much better. What I want you to do is you can look at the syllabus, which is linked here, but I've condensed most of our the major beats of our assignments and time together into this Comp 2 online, the basics. Let me get back up in your life here for a second. I'm much meaner on this page than I am in real life. I just don't want any confusion about what I expect out of you. So as you read this, feel free to assume I'm a very tough, rigid teacher. But please know that I'm a very reasonable guy when it comes to a lot of these things. But I don't let students get away with much in my class either, I guess. So I basically treat you the way you treat me. I'm a really big believer in the golden rule. If you're a good student, I think you're going to like me a lot as an instructor. And frankly, if you're not a good student, you're not going to like me much at all because you're not going to do very well, and I'm not going to have much patience for your excuses or for anything that doesn't really fall in line. So be a good student. That's all. That's all I really need you to do. College is hard, and it requires you to be responsible for yourself. It also requires you to take responsibility for your own learning. I think that's doubly true in online classes. And so just early on, I like to be very clear about what it is exactly I expect out of you and what you can expect out of me. So I'm not going to go over every bit of this, but certainly there are some important elements to consider. That this is a college class. However, I understand your high school students. I can't allow extensions on due dates. Many of you know this already. I'm not going to belabor this point, but when things are due, I'm going to grade those things. And if you have them done, great. And if you don't, you're not passing those assignments. It's just that simple. Another thing I don't want to make there shouldn't be any confusion on is you can't get everything done during your school time, your 5 days a week, your 45 minutes, or however long it is per class time in front of a computer. You need to work outside of high school time to succeed in this class. Okay, email etiquette, I'll leave you to read. Be professional, be respectful. I'm your writing teacher. I should care a little bit about how you compose your emails to me. If they look like texts, I'm not going to answer them. Just that simple. Okay, a typical week, you'll get the hang of it. Tuesdays and Mondays are going to be your due dates. Google Drive, you'll have to do. There are many of you. I hope that you give me a week to grade all assignments. Many of you know already that I'm much quicker than that. But if you send an email, when is my assignment going to be graded? You can send those emails after if it's been a week. Let's see. So let's talk about the essays. The first one we're going to talk about shortly is an observation essay. The second short one is a digital Sabbath, where you'll take a break from technology and reflect on that experience. That's right, you're going to unplug for 24 hours. At the end of the semester, you'll write a reflective essay about your time doing the collaborative assignment and also your time in class. A big chunk of our class is going to be spent on this right here, the 10-page research essay. Okay, you know, I want it to be on technology, but with enough talking, we can make any topic sort of relevant to technology. Basically, you can write on technology and blank. So anything you're interested in, you'll be able to write your research essay on. You have to use outside research, yes, you know, articles, just like you did in college composition, but you're also going to have to collect research. That's really going to be one of the things that we're doing differently this semester as opposed to college comp, is that instead of going to the library or getting on the library's website and finding sources, you're going to become the sources yourselves through your observations, through interviews, through artifact analysis. Lots of really cool what's called primary research. Primary meaning first, meaning you're the first person to collect this research. So go into it with an open mind. This is what sociologists do, and this is what lots of, you know, sort of cultural anthropologists do, and it's becoming more prevalent in the English field as well. So you'll have to do some outside research, but not as much as you did in college comp, because you'll be too busy conducting the research yourself, which is really cool. There'll be a multimodal project at the end of the semester that you'll do in groups of 3 to 5 or 6 or 7, and it'll be there's no writing. It's going to be a digital experience that you create. A lot more on that much later on. The weather will be much nicer than it is right now. You'll do little reader responses just like you did in college comp. We're going to have an invention journal that I'll talk about in a little bit as well. You'll do 10 invention journals over the course of the semester. Peer review is going to be a big part of how we construct and revise our essays. You're going to get feedback from me, of course, but you're also going to get feedback from each other. And you're also going to brainstorm your topics and help each other. The rest of this stuff I'll leave to you to read. You can count on me to be accessibly available. I answer emails just as quickly as I can. Angel and grades, sometimes the grades look wonky on Angel. I do not like Angel at all. Don't be confused about that. You can't turn in late work. Be adults in your online behavior, please. You know what that looks like. And like I said, the rest of this you can look at yourself. I have online behavior on here twice. I'll have to fix that. Okay, so read this document much more closely than I've gone over it. Okay, thank you. The next thing you need to do is set up your Google Drive. Okay, the assignment is right here on how to set up Google Drive. It's my understanding from speaking with all of your teachers, especially you new folks, that you know your way around Google Drive. So basically, you're going to want to go down to this part of it and set up a folder, share that folder with me, and make sure there are subfolders for all the assignments that we do. I feel like this document speaks for itself. I also have a lot of links down here that you can look at to figure out how to do that. All right. Let's see, you want to create an invention journal hub. This will make sense as we do a few more journals, invention journals, because they're going to vary in delivery method, let's say. So for the first one, you compose a short piece, and that you can just write 750 words as a Google Drive or a Google Doc, you know, Google document that answers some of the following questions. This is kind of like a get to know you sort of activity. So the bar is not tremendously high, I suppose, for this. So you can do other things. So if you want to create a Tumblr for this class and you know, do a lot of your invention journals there, that's fine. You can create an online slideshow or an infographic. But what role does digital tech play in your life? What devices do you use? How often do you use them? And then, you know, that's kind of personal. But then looking at more broadly, what's the role of technology in American culture? Is this role a positive or negative one? And why do you think that? And then any questions you have about College Comp 2, what can I tell you more about, anything scary or confusing. And you can look here, I've gone far ahead and created all of your invention journals. So you can skim through these at any time to get a sense of what is coming down the pike in terms of invention journals. They're almost all, except for this first one, connected to larger assignments that you're working on. So the second one, for instance, when you do an observation, you have to take detailed notes at your observation. And so your second invention journal will be scanning and uploading those field notes. Okay, and so on. You'll see as we get further into the semester. Reader response 1, I know you all had to do reader responses last semester, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Here's my assignment for the reader response. There's a link to it. Look at this. Editing in action. Okay, you know, 500 words of summarization and analysis. Let's see. On the week 1 agenda, you have all these different links. I'm going to add more. As I find things that I think are cool or relevant to our class, I'll add to this list and many other lists of readings that we'll do this semester. But pick one. I'd love you to read them all. Please read them all. But pick one and make it the basis of your first reader response. Okay, I think these are all very interesting. Is listening a lost classroom art? You know how distracted you can be when you're looking at your phone and also talking to someone, and I think that becomes doubly true in classrooms. So there's just one. The Age of Innocence. A lot of these I tried to make geared towards sort of kids these days. You know how old people like to complain about the younger generations. This is just one way to sort of critically examine those sorts of complaints. These are some of these articles are really engaging on those topics. So create a reader response one. Let me go back up here because I skipped number 3 here. Contribute to our personal introductions spreadsheet. All right, so you can see a few people have already done so. What's up, Tony? What's up, Maddie? Thank you very much. And I've made my own here as well. So what I've done here is created just this short Google Slides presentation that gives you an idea of kind of who I am and where I'm coming from. So there's a painting by my favorite artist, Michelangelo Caravaggio. That's St. Jerome, if you're curious. It's also my avatar in Google for now. How to contact me and my professional information. So follow me on Twitter if you like. Here's my email, my office phone, and if for some weird reason you want to call me. My YouTube channel, that's where this is going to appear. Just a little bit of personal info. Like I said, I ran. That's why my eyes are all crappy this morning. And then some pictures and information about my wonderful family. Oh my goodness, aren't those the cutest little kids? I think so. All right, so complete that as well. So sorry to bounce around a little bit. My screencast game is slightly off, I guess. Essay 1 assignment. All right, that's time to get moving on that, not to be too alarmist this early in the semester. But I'm going to let you read all this on your own. But Essay 1 is you're going to pick a place and you're going to observe how technology gets used at that place. Okay, that's the beginning of the assignment. Okay, you have to have an argumentative agenda. That'll become more important later on. You could do one of two things. You can observe a community, as I say, a group of people that kind of self-identify as members of a group. It can be employees of a certain business, waiters and waitresses at a restaurant, for instance, or employees of any place, or people who meet at predictable times, clubs and groups. Not many students take that option. Most of them pick a location. So pick a public location where people congregate and are likely to use technology. Okay. Pick a place that you can get to. You may want to do multiple observations. Not a bad idea. You're going to take notes on the observation of technology use, and then you're going to have a clear point or focus. Okay, a lot more on that in weeks to come. But I do not just want the story of your observation. I will say this over and over again. If you just write an essay that is like, I went to so-and-so, I went to Starbucks, and I watched people use technology, and some people use technology, and other people didn't. The end, that paper is not passing. Your essay needs to take what you've observed and put it to work, to develop an argument, to be persuasive in some way. Your goal needs to be to change readers' minds. It's a really big aspect of it, but that's not as important in week 1. It becomes important later on. What is important is that you pick a place to observe almost immediately. If there's a coffee shop you like to go to, cool. If you want to go to a mall, you want to go to a library, a pizza place, a tattoo parlor, a concert. I've seen lots of very creative approaches to this assignment. I hope I can count on you to be creative in your selection as well. Don't pick your school. Do not pick your school. That's not going to be very useful to you. You'll have to run these by me. If you look ahead to week 2, which you can always do, all my agendas have a link to the next week's agenda. You'll see that you'll have to complete a brainstorming discussion board on Angel about your place. So I'll know in a week basically how what you've chosen for an observation site and how successful that may or may not be. You also have some textbook readings, Thinking as a Writer, 16 pages and then another page in terms of how to make sure that you're reading actively. And then some of these are videos, some of these are readings. You don't have to go through all of them immediately, but they're just going to help you understand sort of the sociological spirit behind observational thinking, observational writing. So my time is almost up here. I've eaten up 15 minutes of your time with this video. Let me put my ugly mug up here one more time and tell you that I'm very much looking forward to working with you this semester, and I hope that you'll email me any and all questions that you have. I'm looking forward to working with all of you again, and I'm definitely looking forward to working with you new folks as well. Send me your questions. Best of luck with everything. Thanks.